are going to discuss facility location problems. Earlier in the course, we had seen facility layout problems. So together, facility layout and facility location are broadly clubbed under what are called as facility design problems. So in the facility layout problems, we had seen product layout, process layout, and so on. So if you recall, there was a process layout, right? What was process layout? Process layout was essentially processes grouped. The activities grouped according to the functions. So all the milling machines will be kept together, all the drilling machines will be kept together, and then essentially this was the milling machine, this was the drilling machine, and then we said the product moves from here and comes out. There may be third station, a third department, and some products may go here, may come here, then go here and come out. So that was our process layout. So in fact, in the discussion on layouts, we had not talked about optimization of process layout. Actually, optimization of process layout is a problem that is called as a relative location problem. Now, why is it called a relative location problem? Remember what was one of the service industry examples of process layout that we had discussed? We had actually discussed in academic institutes where expertise are sitting as per their so faculty members, right? Faculty members are sitting as per their expertise. So mechanical engineering department is one building, and then electrical engineering department is one building, and civil engineering department is one building. So essentially, the labs associated with civil engineering departments are generally housed in a same building, right? So on. So that is a typically process layout. That's a typical process layout. So a student wanting to take an elective from electrical engineering and then computer science department and then mathematics has to move from that building to this building to this building, right? So that is essentially the process layout. Process layout problem is also called the relative location problem. So think of a campus, think of a university campus. Many universities have a fairly large campus, and therefore where to locate which department is actually a relative location problem. So relative to this department, where do I locate this other department, right? Many times the decisions seem to have been taken non-mathematically. There are other constraints that govern where should a department building come up, how big that department building can be, right? There are other constraints, and they are correct. All those constraints are correct. But optimization of process layout is actually called a relative location problem. And now we are thinking of a proper facility location, right? So what do I mean by facility location? Think about an organization operating all over India. Let us say there is an FMCG company. FMCG is fast moving consumer goods, and they have manufacturing. They want to have manufacturing locations at multiple places. Let us say in India, right? Let us not even think about global supply chains and so on. So that this organization now has to decide where to locate my factories. Should I have a single factory serving the entire country? Should I have multiple factories serving the nation, serving different markets? Now markets have their own flavor. Some products sell better in one place, and the same product doesn't sell that well in the other place. So it has regional flavor, it has geographical flavor and all that. So should I have generic facilities which can manufacture anything, or should I have very specific facilities located in very specific regions? Where should these facilities be, right? Should they be closer to my consumer? Should they be closer to the port where the raw material comes from? Right? All those questions are very, very valid questions, and that's what facility location problems are. So facility location problems are essentially optimizing the location of the facility. The facility may be a factory, the facility may be a warehouse, a facility may be a retail store, right? In a city, let us say I want to decide where should I locate my retail store, and that's a location problem also, and it has very similar principles as to similar but not the same. Similar principles about somebody trying to locate a warehouse somewhere, right? So think about the e-commerce organizations also today, right? E-commerce organizations have a very simple business. You place the order online and you get the products at your home. So there are two aspects to it, right? Where should these products that you order be located, right? Be stored. Where should that warehouse be? Should it be, if I'm trying to serve a city like Mumbai, should that warehouse be sitting inside Mumbai? Should that warehouse be sitting outside Mumbai in one of the suburbs? Where in the suburbs, right? All those are essentially location problems. So that's what we are going to discuss, and by no means we are going to think about only manufacturing organizations, right? E-commerce is an example where we took an example of non-manufacturing industry. These location decisions have to be taken by everybody. We just now discussed about academic institute, right? Thinking about where to locate various departments on its campus. Now sometimes the academic institute may want to buy a land somewhere outside, and they have to decide where to buy that land so that I can probably have bigger labs moving there. So service industry also has very similar situations. They also have to decide the service facility location. So the formulations that we are going to discuss in this session are by no means restricted only to manufacturing. They are for all kinds of industries. Okay, but we are going to discuss mathematical formulations of the location problem, and we are going to discuss the complexity of those problems. But we also have to realize that there are a lot of non-mathematical constraints, right? I mean, they are not. I'm not saying that they cannot be mathematically modeled, but there are constraints which are more social, which are probably harder to mathematically model, right? For example, let us say that the law and order department is trying to decide where to locate prisons, right? Where to locate prisons in a city or a state. Now let us say that our mathematical formulation says this is the most optimal location for a prison, depending on the transportation of the prisoners, depending on the size of the land availability and all that. The mathematical model, let us say, has suggested one particular location for the prison. Now let us say that that model, the recommendation of that prison seems to be sitting right in the middle of the city. Now, would the city residents be comfortable having a prison in the middle of the city? Now, those are the constraints. Those are situations which have to be carefully looked at, right? For example, nature of the organization, right? For example, let us say that the doctor is trying to decide where to have my clinic. Now, doctor's clinic have to have certain minimum parameters. For example, there has to be a place where there is a privacy, where the patient can talk privately with the doctor, right? I mean, there are other patients waiting, but you don't want these patients to listen to what the other patient is telling the doctor about, right? The doctor-patient privacy issues. So, where should this facility be located should also have these kinds of constraints built into it, right? And those are not very easy constraints to mathematically model. Earlier I spoke about land availability. Now there are certain retail stores which will allow you to open a franchise only if you show them that I have this much of land available with me. Now, if those franchisees are for retail outlets or for food outlets, they have to be located in the city, right? They cannot be located outside the city. So, what is the possibility that I will get that much of land in the city, right? So, even if I want to locate my facility in the city, the land availability constraints may force me to make some compromises. The facility location, the facility design in general should also have to worry about flexibility, right? For example, I mean, typically many cities are trying to solve this problem now, that the airport available in that city is already brimming up to the capacity. Now they are thinking whether they should have one more airport. There are cities which have multiple airports, but so where should this new airport be located, right? How much land does it need, right? What are the aviation restrictions? Am I encroaching in some other area? I mean, is that a forest land? All those constraints have to be considered when we decide the location of the facility. Flexibility, because I may build an airport with certain capacity, right? Now over a period of time, that capacity is going to get completely utilized, and I may want to build more capacity into the existing facility. Now, do I have a facility where expansion is possible, or then I can think about, or should I think about these expansion decisions only at that time? Typical constraint nowadays is parking facilities. Most of the retail locations in the city have hardly any parking locations. Now, even if I look at a facility where I say, I will have my restaurant here, because now I can have a facility to park 10 cars. Now let us say objective of every business is to be able to grow. Now let us say this restaurant becomes very famous, and the 10 parking lots that it has today becomes insufficient tomorrow. So what is the flexibility there, right? So do I have can I increase the number of parking lots? How, right? All those issues once again difficult to quantify, but those issues do matter, right? Aesthetics is one of the most difficult things to mathematically model, right? But aesthetics plays a role not only in facility layout, it plays a role in facility location. So how are you going to include those kinds of constraints? Right now, let us leave that discussion aside. Let us look at how are these location decisions being formulated, right? Being mathematically modeled. We are going to again look at optimization problems. We are again going to look at problems which may be computationally harder, in the sense that they may have combinatorial optimization kind of flavor. So by now you have figured out that in optimization class of problems, linear programming problems are the easiest problems to solve, right? There are some of the LP problems also have pathological complexity, but in general LP problems are easier to solve. Now convex optimization problems, right? Convex optimization problems are which are essentially non-linear convex optimization problems, right? They are harder problems to solve, but because I can show that the problem is convex, I have some theoretical results which will help me find the optimal solution faster. So slightly more complicated than linear programming problem, but still because of theoretical results available, solvable, right? MILP we discussed it when we had spoken about facility layout problems, product layout problem in particular. What is MILP? Mixed integer linear programming problem. So there are some decision variables which are integer, some decision variables continue to be continuous. So that's why it is called mixed integer linear programming problem. So some decision variables are continuous, some decision variables are integers. Now by integers, they may not be actually integers, they may be binary, 0 1 only, or they may have 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So that kind of values also, but essentially integer values, not continuous values. They can't take 1.23 and 3.47 and so on. MILP, essentially ILP is a class of problems where all the decision variables are integer type, right? Either binary or integer, right? Now those problems are MILP problems, ILP problems. Those are hard problems to solve, computationally hard problems to solve. The another ugly variety are some problems which are called NLP, right? Mixed integer nonlinear programming problem. So not only the decision variables are integers, the constraints and the objective function may be nonlinear, right? So those are the worst variety, I guess. Really hard problems to solve. So we are going to formulate facility location problems which are mainly in this class. We will try to formulate in such a way that I don't get non-linearities, but some constraints that I earlier spoke about, some of the harder mathematical constraints may get non-linear. But if we want to include all the scenarios in the formulation, what else can you do? You formulate the MI and LP and hope that you can solve it relatively efficiently.